Hello everyone, my name is Gabby, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super review. This time we're reviewing episode 15. Everything is slowly going back to normal after Beerus' attack. Goku wants to train, Chi-Chi doesn't want him to, Vegeta wants to surpass Goku, Gohan and Videl are going around being parents, and Mr. Satan is taking the credit for defeating the God of Destruction. The usual. During Mr. Satan's press conference, a group of aliens arrived from the planet Snack. They heard about Beerus being defeated and they wanted to extend their gratitude. Except the hero of Planet Snack also wants to fight Mr. Satan to see what he's capable of. Mr. Satan tries to bail out of it, but to no avail. The Saiyans are all preoccupied, or they get scared off by Chi-Chi. It looks like Mr. Satan is going to be exposed as a fraud once and for all, until the aliens see B and freak out. It turns out these aliens are mortal enemies with another race that looks a lot like dogs. What a coincidence! Scared, the aliens quickly leave, leaving Mr. Satan able to keep lying. For now, at least. So, what did I like about this episode? Well, it was just freaking hilarious. There's just something about Dragon Ball slice of life filler that's just amazing. I don't know what it is. It's just, it's such a typical scenario. It's just like, oh, some guys wanted to want to fight Mr. Satan, they want to prove that he's a liar, and then he gets saved by some random coincidence. It's a very typical story, but the way they did it was just they didn't do anything that overcomplicated it. It was simple, and it was sweet, and it didn't overstay its welcome. I know some people wouldn't necessarily like that we're immediately getting more slice of life filler after this fight. They probably wanted to get into all of the sort of pre-Resurrection F stuff instead of just having an episode where really nothing much happens in the plot. But I personally enjoyed it, and I think it was very good downtime after so many episodes of fighting. Sometimes you do need an episode to just have a break from all of the intense action, and that's what this episode was. As for what I didn't like about this episode, it really boils down to one thing, and that is characterization. I was sort of delaying my judgment on this because it was only really had 2 episodes of it before the actual Beerus stuff started, but they're really going back to old sort of Toei Dragon Ball Z filler characterization, especially for Chi-Chi. I mean, okay, I'm not going to say that Chi-Chi is a great character and that Dragon Ball just sort of, the anime just sort of ruins her all the time. They just exaggerate her personality to the point that, she is completely unlikable. There is no redeeming feature about her. Literally, there is no redeeming feature about Chi-Chi. It's really annoying, and I wish they would stop that. But this is Toei. I mean, they're the guys, they were the people who did do all the Dragon Ball Z filler, so I guess they're sort of assuming that they're sort of taking the fact that all of the filler is pretty much canon, even if it's not canon. I'm not going to go into canon debates, but they're under the impression that, just treat this like you were treating all your old Dragon Ball Z filler episodes. Which I honestly don't really like, because the Dragon Ball Z filler episodes sometimes did have a problem with people just being completely out of character. And I don't want Super to keep doing that. Also, I guess we've got a nitpick. How did those aliens know who Beerus was, and how did those aliens know that Beerus was defeated? It's not a big deal. This is really a filler episode, so, trying to work out actual logic to this, there pretty much is none because it's not really part of the story, but whatever. So next episode, it looks like we will get a bit more of the leading into Resurrection F stuff, in that Whis is showing up, and it seems like they're going to try and get Whis to, train, at least according to the title, probably train Vegeta, but also probably train Goku as well. And we're going to get some stuff with Krillin next episode, and just judging by the preview, that's something that I'm very concerned about. Because remember how I was talking about characterization and filler? So yes, Chi-Chi is one character who is ruined by filler, but another character who gets ruined by filler and by Toei material is Krillin. Because, the Krillin-owned account didn't come from nowhere, but it didn't come from the manga either. It pretty much came from, the movies. Because they just make Krillin the butt monkey in all of the movies, and in some of the filler as well, and it's very annoying, and I hope they don't keep doing that, but it seems like they are. Which is a shame. So Dragon Ball Super Episode 15 was short, sweet, and ultimately harmless. You could say it's filler, but it is still filler, just not in the same way that it was normally filler, what you expect filler to be, that is, trying to make sure you don't overtake the manga. In this case, it's more like it's filler just because if they immediately go to the action, they're thinking that maybe we should have a little bit of downtime before the action starts. Sort of like episode 1 and 2. It's not necessarily filler in the traditional filler way, but it's still kind of counted in like you probably shouldn't really take this episode into account when like waiting for the rest of the story, in that they're probably not going to ever mention this again. Sometimes I feel like I just want to watch a series that is just slice of life Dragon Ball, but I know that's not the selling point of the series, and I know that not everyone enjoys it. But I enjoy it, so I enjoyed this episode. So this is Gabby signing out, and I'll see you all next week. Bye guys!